We've just received confirmation that today is the day. Justice Omotosho is expected to deliver the long-awaited judgment on Nnamdi Kanu's case. This is the moment many have been waiting for, and the tension surrounding this case is palpable. But here's the twist. At the same time as this monumental legal decision looms, Nnamdi Kanu's family home is surrounded by a heavy security presence. So, what's really going on here? The question on everyone's mind right now is, why the heavy security? It's no secret that Kanu's case has attracted significant attention from both local and international communities. Whether you're for or against his cause, there's no denying that the outcome of this trial is going to have far-reaching consequences for Nigeria and its political landscape. But why, just hours before the judgment, are there large numbers of security agents outside Kanu's family home? Could this security presence be a precautionary measure? Given the history of violence and protests surrounding Kanu's arrest and detention, it wouldn't be surprising if the authorities are preparing for any possible civil unrest following today's judgment. In the past, whenever Kanu has faced legal challenges, his supporters have taken to the streets in large numbers, demanding his release or protesting his treatment. The government, it seems, might be trying to avoid a repeat of those scenes. But here's where it gets interesting. What if this security presence isn't just about potential violence? What if it's more strategic? Could the government be anticipating that the outcome of the judgment today might lead to a surge of support for Kanu? Especially if the ruling doesn't go in his favor? The implications of a guilty verdict could be catastrophic for IPOB supporters, potentially sparking widespread demonstrations or unrest across the region. In that case, maintaining a heavy security presence would make sense, a show of force to keep the peace. And then there's the question of the timing. The fact that the authorities have chosen to deploy such a large number of security agents right now, hours before the judgment, raises another question. Are they anticipating something more than just protests? Could this be a move to prevent anything from happening in the first place? Perhaps the government wants to avoid a situation where Kanu's supporters gather in masses, leading to clashes with law enforcement. It's a preventative measure, yes, but it also creates a sense of foreboding, doesn't it? But then, let's ask ourselves, what if this security presence has nothing to do with the potential reaction to today's judgment? What if there's something bigger at play here? Could this be about more than just the court case? Could this be a signal of things to come? A message not just to Kanu's supporters, but to the rest of the nation? It makes you wonder, is there a larger, more strategic move at work here? Are we on the brink of seeing more government intervention in the southeast, especially given the growing calls for Biafran independence? And if so, how far is the government willing to go to ensure national unity, even at the cost of escalating tensions? The truth is, we don't know for sure what's going to happen today. But we can only speculate about the possible reasons behind the government's actions. The security agents surrounding Kanu's home could be preparing for a protest, an escalation, or even something bigger, something we're not seeing yet. Could this be a prelude to more military and security operations across the region? Or could it be an isolated measure designed to manage a specific scenario? And let's not forget about the judgment itself. What if the verdict doesn't go the way Kanu's supporters hope? We've seen the intense emotions surrounding this case, and a guilty verdict could lead to significant backlash. The heavy security presence could be an early response to what could be an explosive outcome. Could the government be anticipating that today's decision might spark more than just protests? Could it lead to an outright rebellion? In all this uncertainty, one thing is clear. Today is a defining moment. The outcome of this trial, combined with the heavy security measures in place, will determine not just Kanu's future, but also the direction Nigeria is heading in. Will we see a peaceful resolution, or will this mark the beginning of a new phase of unrest? We don't know yet, but we're all watching closely as the situation unfolds. I want you to think about this though. What would happen if Kanu is convicted? Would we see mass mobilization across the Southeast? Would this trigger further calls for independence from IPOB and other groups? Could it lead to more political instability in the region? And what about the rest of Nigeria? How would this verdict affect the broader political landscape? We're talking about more than just one man's fate here. This case has the potential to change the course of history in Nigeria. It could either calm the storm or make the winds blow even harder. The government's actions, the security measures, the court's decision, all of these pieces are interconnected. And today, we may see the full picture come into focus. Now, as you sit there thinking about all this, I want you to imagine the ripple effects of today's judgment. What will the next few days hold? Will this case finally come to a close, or will it lead to even more questions? Will the security measures be enough to keep things under control, or will they fan the flames of unrest? And before we wrap this up, let me remind you, if you want to stay on top of the latest updates on this case, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I'll be following this story closely, and you don't want to miss the next update. Stay tuned and let's see how this story unfolds.